All right. So we grab the YouTube link and we share it for all the friends in the Discords. State of Nativewind. At here. Nikita, you have been cooking. I have been like smiling ear to ear, looking back at my like I start my day every day now, like waiting, like pulling stuff from Git just to see like what you've been cooking on, because it's so good. It's so good. Every single edition is incredible. And I know it's like only gonna get better. Okay. So all announcements are out. We are good to go. All right. So still current timeline is, well, I guess I should start by saying that Mark is out. He is on the stream with Expo for Expo SDK 53. There's apparently some sort of like weird thing with SDK 53 that he's going to want to address today. So he's off doing that. And we got Nikita back today, who's been kicking ass on the new website, on the new docs. It's crazy. And we're going to show that off a little bit. And we're kind of just going to spend today's stream like going through the different stuff to change. I had some things that I wanted to surface that I don't think are like, they're not at all like we shouldn't launch tomorrow until this, but just like I want to have it be like a conversation, you know, and for anyone that wants to kind of see it a little bit before tomorrow when you get to play around with it, they'll get to take a look at that. So all right, version 5 though, to reiterate the timeline, we have last week was logo, this week is new docs. Tomorrow morning they'll go live, and hopefully that includes the new word mark, the new font and all that stuff, hopefully. And then next week will be first the migration guide going live in the blog, followed by the actual version 5 beta going out soon after. Yeah, and that is the plan. So for today, we will just focus on the docs. So Nikita, do you... Actually, I guess I can pull them up because I'll be, you know, doing my stuff.
My version is a hot mess right now.
Yeah, let's get it pulled up over here. So people went nuts for that logo though. Huge fans of the animation. Did you still want to get the animation on hover for the logo up before?
For the top left?
Yeah. Sweet. I don't know if we want to do it anywhere where the logo exists or just in the nav header.
Where else does it exist? In the footer?
I guess. Let me see if it'll look better on just... Yeah, I'm going to put it on like my laptop screen. So let's go ahead and share that. Share screen. Window. Nativewind. Oh, it's just so beautiful, you know? This part was so nice. I love what you did here with the, like, oh God, it's just...
It's a, if you look underneath, it's 100% raw dogged. There's just an object that says transitions with different delays.
Really? Dude, that's crazy.
And then if you inspect the element, it's just inserting span by span. later.
No, this is phenomenal. And I can't stop playing with this animation. I'm gonna want to mess around with speed or like the extent by which it draws.
I think I need to add like
I actually think
300 millisecond pauses in between like each class being applied, because currently you're just typing nonstop.
Yeah.
Like you're caffeinated or something. Maybe a little pause between each would be good.
This is good. I love
Still
playing around with
it.
this. I can't stop playing with it. I've had access to it for like a week, and I keep going at it, man. It's so much.
I actually can't stop playing with the copying colors.
Oh yeah, that one's so good. The one thing, okay, so scrolling down here, why this one still feels a little aggressive to me.
That one is a work in progress.
Yeah, but like I know you're still cooking on that one. This one's good. I just don't love this jump back and forth. It's fine though. It's not like, once you get that, like that is just beautiful, like
I'm using the default like smooth scroll that's like in the browser. So you know how CSS has smooth scroll behavior? That's what I'm using for smoothing, but we could probably add like a custom smoothing relative to how you move your cursor. That would probably be better.
Okay.
I like the little sync when you copy the color. The little bouncing icon next to copied color, it bounces down and the whole notification goes down.
Oh, dude, oh my God, I just realized that. It's so awesome. Dude, you come up with stuff that's just beyond my comprehension. Oh, that little jump is so nice. And there's an entry one and there's an exit one, which is really cool.
Also cursed in the code. It's just like a giant area of colors. And then whenever you click, it just copies that style that's also applied to the square.
Okay.
And the notification uses the style that's copied, but like I switch it up for the BG for text and darken the background or lighten.
So you added this showcase, I think, right?
So far, only one. I'm still. This is not. I don't think that's final.
So I had some feedback on this one, actually. I was talking to Beck about it. So one thing that I noticed is I feel like this thing should, be... So there's a lot of this stuff, and what I think could solve it is if you just make the clickable area extend to this box here, right? So that the row item is actually... I'm thinking
with the boxes stacked together, and also on mobile, it doesn't make sense for it to stick out as it does. So maybe it will actually stick out like the yellow way to the left, and then the whole group hover will be like the whole square. Like imagine put it in the square.
I feel like that's probably it. I feel like if you hover on the square, it should do this. I love this though. I love that these are separate. On mobile, I don't know how that translates. I haven't taken a look yet, but just this hover on each item is so incredible. I only just wish that if we stuck to this, that when you hover off of that the field actually, is made smaller.
Oh, the little
on the right end.
Yeah,
there's like a tab there, or like an empty space on the right hand there, so that when you hover over it sort of expands a little further or something. But again, these are tiny things. This is not like preventing, like, this should not be a high priority. This is like an iteration type of deal. And, we saw the component kits, but these like dotted backgrounds are just stunning. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, we got the first comment here.
Thank you.
And then I think you had put in the little animations on the social icons, which are always a fun touch. Yeah, man. I do want to put in... So Sammy, did you get a chance to take a look at the word mark that Sammy came up with?
Did he send it yet?
Yeah, it's in the core channel. So I might as well just pull it up on stream. We are sort of iterating on it a bit still. but I'll pull it up. So here it is. I'll stop sharing that screen and then I'll start sharing a different one. So this is what Sammy has sent over. He sort of created his own font, which Sammy likes to do.
So we're lowercasing the W.
Yeah, I think we're pretty definitively lowercasing the W, and I asked him about lowercasing the N as well. I'm very curious to hear his take on that, but what he did was that he created, you can read his notes on this, I'm just going to summarize. He shaped a font, like a custom font, around matching the Wind logo width and curvature. And I think it's very smooth. I like the spacing between the word and the icon. The spacing between each character is also nice. Each character is very discernible from the previous one. I really just think the only concern is the capitalization of the letter N.
The way we have it right now, I think the word is too small relative to the logo. Because I like, if N is capitalized, I like N to take up about the same height as the logo from like the top swing to the bottom swing.
Say that one more time.
Like, I like that we currently have the word, the capital N, takes up about the same, if not slightly less, than the height of the logo itself.
I see. You're saying that if it were lowercase, that it would look like the logo was quite a bit larger than...
Yeah, but no. But even with this one, I'd say the logo should be
it should
smaller.
be smaller.
Yeah. Like if you put guidelines, like if you put lines on top and bottom of the logo.
I see. Interesting. Yeah, and especially when we start to like imagine this in the nav bar header and stuff like that, like, yeah, we should probably surface that to Sammy. That's a good note. They're working on the animation, Sammy and Hadi. They're working on the animation to take it from like the wind animation into the Nativewind UI one that spins, the pinwheel spins from the wind blowing into it, to have like Nativewind UI come out of that. And that's going to be part of the companion app to Nativewind UI. I'm actually I don't think I've ever been as excited about a splash screen as that specific splash screen. And they're taking really big inspiration from, I think, the login screen that you created, right? With the sort of spinning thing.
The word like comes out of the logo.
Yeah.
I think I saw that somewhere, and then I decided to do it in CSS.
Yeah, it came out super, super well. Let's go back to the website real quick. Which one of you is the website? This one. I wanted to chat about the dotted lines and the the alignment of the content. You're saying you want to bring those lines out a little bit?
Maybe like at the midpoint between at the midpoint of the difference. So not just jam the entire demo into it, but like bring them closer together from both sides.
Yeah. Hold on, there's see what is posted. Looks like, and this is about the word mark. So let me pull that up again.
Like baseline aligned, mayhaps.
Let me see. So they're saying that like text alignment might look good if aligned to the bottom line instead of. Oh, I see. Okay. Maybe if it was smaller.
The bottom thingy kind of supposed to go down, kind of like in letter Y you have a thing at the bottom.
Yeah, I would like to see this with the logo smaller. We can ask Sammy to do a couple passes of that.
I think drop the SVG so we can.
He did. There's a Dropbox
the
link.
SVG.
So
can I copy it as an SVG? Let's see.
Probably.
I don't like downloading files. Just because Finder is hard to work with.
I'm gonna switch back to the website, but Siva, thank you for the feedback. That's definitely what we're here for. I just want to kind of like get feedback on stuff. We're gonna be iterating on the new website also as time goes on. This copy is gonna change before tomorrow. I'm gonna do a pass at that, and but yeah, definitely wanted to get these aligned with like all the content generally aligned with the dotted lines. In that way, it'll sort of feel familiar to the Tailwind website.
But Tailwind has like this huge width.
Yeah.
Which I personally don't like. But
yeah. So I really, really do like Tailwind's whole thing of like putting the definition of the utility classes above the text and stuff like that.
I was trying to not copy.
I know, it's so hard. They're so good. Like it's such a great visualization of
I did like the hashtags. Like if you hover what is Nativewind on the left side, it has like the hashtag and then links to the section.
That is very nice. I
had one for each, but then I'm still working out the titles for the rest of the sections because right now they're kind of boring. I'm not sure what we're gonna do with those. I commented out the little gray thingies for now.
You're talking about the ones like this, like why Nativewind and all this stuff. Yeah, I think so these title sections, I'm gonna make them into actionable things, right? Like what is this affording me the ability to do kind of thing, or like what's the action phrase?
I left aligned them. Thoughts?
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna suggest. I even think that there should be a description underneath them, but it won't be asking a question. It will just sort of be the section, and then that potentially frees up these to be the utility classes. And again, like you don't want to copy one for one. I don't think we're one for one copying Tailwind. Like we're taking a lot of inspiration from it.
We can switch it up, I think. So they have horizontally, they have the Tailwind classes for each title and subtitle, and vertically on the side they have the section name in blue. I think it's only on like not on blue, it's in pink. It's in different colors, but it's on all the sections except for hero, so we can do the reverse.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is we can play around with these things, right, over the course of the next week, and just see what we like, you know. So Sue is asking if we're considering theme setup without the dark prefix. Yeah, so in accordance with the like reworking of the visual aspect of the docs, I'm also going through and redoing a lot of the pages, the content itself of the documentation, as well as adding, you know, stuff to help LLMs parse through it. One of in fact, the primary first guide that I'm going through is the theme setup one, and I want to make sure the theme setup within React Native has like a caveat to be mindful of relative to web, and web itself through Tailwind affords you the ability to implement dark light mode, things like that, in a couple of different ways. So I'm just finding the most cohesive way to convey these different approaches, and using get color scheme and stuff from React Native as an approach rather than the dark light attributes. So providing enough guidance where it feels clear, but also allowing you to sort of choose the approach that fits your needs the best, is the goal. And I think I'll probably need a couple passes at it over time, but I'm currently going through with the hopes of making that message clear. Ultimately, with all of the revisit to the content, the goal is try not to, re-explain Tailwind, but more so have the Nativewind documentation focus on where Nativewind, by necessity differs from Tailwind, or where there's like an extra thing needed or something, or how we do things differently, because it's different. Like React Native at the end of the day just does a lot of stuff differently, doesn't support certain things. So we really want to index heavily on that stuff. And if you want to learn Tailwind and the best practices and patterns there, we want to externally link you to Tailwind. And it's just going to be easier to maintain overall, I think, taking that approach. So the pages we've left up here are the docs and the showcase. Have you put in the showcase yet, Nikita?
What do you mean? Oh, like a page of
is
showcase?
Is it going to 404 if I go there right now?
No, it hashtags to the down.
Oh,
section.
down to the section. I see. Okay. Yeah, eventually we'll want that to be its own page. But for tomorrow, we're just going to launch, I think, with just docs, blogs, and Steve, let me know if I didn't answer your question. I think I did. But
I don't think blog is going to be there by tomorrow.
Okay. Well, it'll be in the coming days or something. But the point is that you're going to start to see things pop up there, like blog and community resources, a bunch of different things. And so you'll be able to explore new elements that we're introducing. I'm really excited for the community resources because I have a lot of folks coming to me right now who, are not aware. They're like, oh, I was looking for ShadCN for React Native. And I'm like, you mean React Native reusables? And they're like, oh my God, I didn't even know that existed. Right. So I would love to have just like a single place to send people.
Is React Native reusables closer to like, what's it called? Radix primitives?
Yeah. I mean, both Nativewind UI and React Native reusables are using like our open source library RN primitives.
Oh, React Native reusables is different from RN primitives. Okay, I see.
Yeah, it's both Nativewind UI and React Native reusables are implemented on top of RN primitives, and RN primitives is us bringing like Radix UI patterns systemically to React Native, right? Because that just exists on web, and so ShadCN just built on top of that. But everything else ShadCN related is like you're going to get that with React Native reusables, and so people like really enjoy using it for that. But if you want more of the like native styling and stuff, like it's more or less the same engine, right? Like you're just changing up the themes and things like this. What we were talking about earlier, Zach, myself, and Sam, is we're working on a registry and a whole like CLI similar to ShadCN stuff that will centralize installation of all of this stuff. So there'll almost be like just one way to, go about using or discovering React Native reusables, Nativewind UI, hopefully the other component libraries will follow. But the thing we're trying to really get right is not limit that system to like what styling library you can use. So you'd be able to use like unistyles or whatever you want. Yeah. So we're cooking on that. right now and just sort of working out the architectural details. But more news there to follow sort of in the coming weeks and or months. So when we go to the docs, we should probably put a little graphic in that like banner, right? At some point. I probably could ask Hadi to throw something together on that front. Because it just sort of, is very empty at the moment. But what are you gonna do? Why is it taking so long? There we go. I don't think anything has changed. Has anything changed on the actual like docs side?
I'm replacing the usage links because they were dead links before. I didn't realize when copying over the markdown that DocuSars had a thing where like props.href was default for current for the file name. So wherever usage is used, usage is a component. It has props.href to link to Tailwind. So usage has like tailwind.com/props.href.
Wait, so where is that? Where is
the go to text, what's it called? Text. Let me communicate text. I think any of them. Text align.
Which one?
Text align.
Text the line?
Yeah.
Text align, I see. Okay. Yeah. I was like, text a line? What?
I think any of the ones that are like down below, any of the ones that are basically Tailwind.
So like this?
Yeah. So see where it says, please refer to the documentation on the Tailwind website. I think
and all of these were broken?
Yeah.
Damn, dude, that's crazy.
Because the way it works in DocuSars is it just takes the outline dash color, and these are all named after the same way that they're in Tailwind documentation. So it would just go to /tailwind.com docs outline color.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, what is the way to do the same thing in Fuma docs? And then I just asked on GitHub, and Fuma docs developer responded like an hour later or something.
Dude, they love you over there probably.
Yeah.
Unless you're causing all kinds of problems for that. Dude, that number of issues just fucking spiking like
crazy. What happened?
Oh my god. I think it stops at 162. Yeah.
Look at the tags. Look at the tags. At the text that it typed.
What do you mean the text? Oh, because it was like during the animation. Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
I think something went out of sync.
This is the final touch here. This is the type of shit we go and make sure isn't the case before launch,
What is the error? What happened?
Let's find out. In a world. There we go. Oh, it's you're not clearing an array or something before populating it again.
Oh, the keys.
Yeah, the keys are repeating.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that part is really cool. I'm just going like I have a collection of like class names for certain elements. That are changed on the right side, and as I'm typing them, I am also taking that string. I just split it by space, and I'm applying them to that element that I need to apply it to.
That's
so
cool.
I could do it for like any. It's basically reusable for any Tailwind. Like I could do a demo of auto writing any Tailwind to any styles applied. One thing I'm still stuck on is the iOS prefix doesn't exist on the web, so I need to somehow manually tie it into like switching between Android and iOS.
Say that one more time. You don't know if what?
So before it had like classes with iOS prefix on those texts. I removed them for now, for now is just all the same. But for iOS prefix, I'm applying styles as I animate typing them, right? But then also I need to switch between iOS and Android, and as I type them, different styles will apply.
Okay.
And that kind of adds a layer of complications.
So are you saying that you're just bypassing it by not introducing not doing that at the moment?
For now, yeah.
Yeah.
If I have time in like an hour or so.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, obviously like other stuff other stuff is going to take priority, like the sizing of this stuff. But it's like it's largely done. Like it's largely there. There's just a few things. I'm definitely gonna have to go in and change the copy on a few things. And I'm really see if you can squeeze the word mark in there, just as like a temporary, like even just for the nav bar header or something.
Like the new thing?
The new thing, yeah. Assuming that
I am playing around with it. I don't like how it's exported because let me show actually.
Okay. You can give Sammy the feedback for that, and I'm sure he'll tailor that.
I'll ping.
Aaron is asking, thanks for the updates. You're welcome. Is Repack going to have compatibility with version 4? I think you mean version 5. Yeah. So Repack support has been provided via, good God, I think, is it the call stack team? Wherever Boris is. I think it's the call stack team. And we have a place in the Discord where you can actually ask about it. Like there's a whole Repack channel. And that was a while ago. So I think they probably have streamlined it working to some extent. And that should extend into version 5 as well. Version 5 of Nativewind wraps version 4.1 of Tailwind, whereas version 4 of Nativewind wraps version 3 of Tailwind. It's confusing. Yes, this is the suffering that we incur having skipped version 3 or abandoned version 3 of Nativewind, I should say. So you'll have to forgive us for that sin. Hopefully that answers your question. If you have any further ones, like I said, we have a dedicated channel for Repack stuff in the Discord. And you can find the link to the Discord on the website. And I think also the GitHub. Yeah. But it's just nativewind.dev/Discord, I think. Back to this. Yeah, so I think just like beyond the copy changes that I will make, getting these to be aligned, obviously fixing like this little thing. And I think you said you're like cooking on this stuff. I actually think this is great. Like this doesn't, no notes. This is incredible. And we'll add like a couple more showcase items or something. How do you feel about this? Like, what's the idea behind just the word here?
Everyone does it.
Are you sure? Really?
Yeah.
This is weird to me. I'm not a huge fan of this, but I guess it just looks unfinished to me, I think, is at the end of the day my concern.
Maybe it needs the logo.
The logo?
Or maybe, I don't know, something shiny.
Is it just because you need something sort of behind it, behind the footer to like?
Maybe. I'm just inspired by Resense footer, but they have a glassy one.
Out of curiosity, what is Tailwind doing with this? They don't have anything.
No, they don't.
Why are you lying to me like that, Nikita?
Well, not everyone does it.
Not everyone does it. Maybe this is the way in which we are different from Tailwind, you know? This is the core way. We just throw in case you forget and think this is the Tailwind website. It says right there at the bottom, half cut off. This is Nativewind with a capital W to also confuse you.
The thought was as you scroll down, it's like coming up from behind it.
Wait, if you keep scrolling, what do you mean?
No, that was just an idea. It's not.
Oh, I don't know, man. This is
like with iOS bounce, it could also like bounce.
This is kind of cursed to me. I would almost prefer just nothing there. But bounce. Yeah. Regardless, we'll be iterating on this stuff. The thing that I just come here to play with is this goddamn wind animation. I love it so much.
Repack has cute docs.
Yeah, they're great. So version 2, that's just going to be S. You know, like don't use version 2 is the answer to what. Oh, and then you'll want to throw the animation, on that logo, which we have. Search works, I think, right? Like nothing is changing there. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. This is great. I'll probably want to gather some testimonials at some point because there's a bajillion of them on Twitter. But otherwise, this is good. Next things will be the like I said, the blog, the dedicated showcase page, the community resources.
V5.
Yeah, the version 5 docs will sort of be placed on top of this. Visually, they will look the same. We'll mirror the docs to the previous version, except for the areas in which it is different. And what else was I going to say? One of the things I'm trying to do as I go through the actual content, like I was saying earlier, which will be an ongoing thing over the coming weeks and months, is I'm going to have more like examples that you can sort of like jump into, right? So you can see an actual implementation of the like dark light mode stuff or the set color scheme stuff. I think we are going to take an opinionated approach generally and suggest like there's going to be a recommended approach to doing things. So, but you'll be able to like launch into an example of using set color scheme or anything else pertaining to Nativewind. Because I really want people to be able to kind of like feel it, ideally on their actual device. So that's going to be big goal, but probably fairly challenging to pull off. Yeah. So that's a little glimpse of what is the what's the status on the Android iOS toggle, by the way? Are you think that's going to make it in?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Not yet.
It's not a nightmare if it doesn't. I think it looks really good as it is, but it would certainly be very cool, to be able to have both. But yeah, we're in the final hours here, just wrapping up the last bits in anticipation of tomorrow's launch. And then, like I said earlier, the version 5 migration guide published next week. And that will be followed by the actual beta for version 5. And that will still be beta. So version 4 will remain the like go-to thing. But anyone who wants to try out version 5 and, prefers Tailwind version 4.1 can do so. We just ask for, any and all feedback that you can provide. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we can wrap it there. We've been at it for over 30 minutes. So appreciate you all stopping by. We will catch you tomorrow. The biggest change, to answer this question before we go, biggest change in version 5, no more Tailwind config. You can read all about that on Tailwind's own website of the large changes between version 3 of Tailwind and version 4.1. And those same changes will be reflected in Nativewind. So, all right.
The visual for CSS variables is actually reflective of no Tailwind config currently.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Interesting. It's straight from Tailwind website, the variables.
Right. Yeah, true. And yeah, in version 5 of Nativewind, we're using version 4 of React Native Reanimated, which allows you to use CSS animations right out of the box, which, you know, is much closer to what you expect from Tailwind type stuff. So those two changes will be quite dramatic in terms of actual end user experience, and they're very fast. I remember seeing it our React Native London Conf last year, and it was just beautiful. So anyways, we will see y'all tomorrow for the launch when all of this is finalized. And yeah, thanks for swinging by.